Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Tracking a couple of isolated showers out there for your morning commute. I'll let you know if you'll run into them.
Plus, you're taking a live look at Pool Road in Raleigh, where a high-speed chase ended with a crash into a power pole. The hundreds of people without power and the charges that driver now face. The crash just happened within the last 3 hours, and we have all the stories you need to know to get you started on your Tuesday. Good morning, everyone. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Thanks for making us part of your Tuesday here as we get going. First thing you notice when you get outside there, the sun's up now. It is humid outside. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRS Severe Weather Center. You feel that right out the door.
You can. It feels just like the middle of July. We have this little bit of light patchy rain here. It is dissipating fairly quickly. Not thunderstorms, just some showers here around Red Oak in Nash County. It's moving out of Franklin County, and we did have a shower there in Wilson County earlier. It is dissipating very quickly. So we'll give this another 45 minutes to an hour or less. We should be done with this. But Rocky Mount, you're likely to see this rain here. That's really the main area that is likely to see showers this morning. Otherwise, I wouldn't expect, it wouldn't be out of the question, but I wouldn't expect us to see much in terms of rain until we get into the afternoon. We'll roll it on out past lunchtime. And once we get into mid-afternoon, a few isolated showers pop up, but again, it's not anything widespread. Take a live look at Wilson. It doesn't look like we're seeing any showers from that big dark cloud, of course, that we were seeing on the radar. 70 right now heading out the door, and it is definitely going to be warmer. And our temperatures this afternoon will climb up into the upper 80s to around 90 degrees. Eric?
Elizabeth, taking a look at traffic here just after 6 this morning. Things looking very smooth out there across the roads. A lot of green. Taking a live look outside right now. This is going to be I-40 at 540. You see things are starting to get busy out there. Folks getting that morning commute underway, but not seeing a lot of crashes pop up at this point or delays. Same deal as we look I-40 at South Saunders. Things moving very smooth there as well. Of course, we'll keep you updated as that commute gets busy.
With breaking news we're following this morning, hundreds of people are without power in part of Wake County after a crash took down a power pole. That crash was part of a high-speed chase with troopers. And Nick Perlin is in the WRL Breaking News Tracker on Pool Road near Nightdale. That power has been out for hours now for hundreds of customers. Nick?
Jeff, that's right, and crews are still here trying to get the power back on for those people who had it knocked out earlier this morning. And I can get behind the camera real quick, and I'm going to show you that power line knocked over here. And as I zoom in here, you're going to get a good look at it. And there's also crews as I pan over here working to get that power back on, like I said. Now, I do want to get you to some video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker to show you what this looked like when I arrived just after 3 a.m. And you're going to see the car flipped over upside down after driving off the road and smashing into that power pole here on Pool Road. Now, we're told by troopers that this chase started on Cary Parkway. They tried to pull over the driver, and then during the traffic stop, the driver then sped off and ended up crashing his car here. We're told that the driver was going around 90 to 100 miles per hour. Keep in mind, the stretch of Pool Road that I'm on right now, the speed limit is 55 miles per hour. We did hear from troopers that the driver is in the hospital and is expected to be taken into custody. They do believe that the driver was impaired while he was speeding away from them. Now, as for the power here, once we get more information about when we can expect to see the lights turn back on for the people who were impacted, we'll be sure to update you. Live in Nightdale, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
And here in the WRAL Live Center, within the past 30 minutes, we have a breaking update from Durham Police regarding a shooting they responded to last night around 9:40. They say they responded to Fayetteville Street near Linwood Avenue, and that is where they found a man with a gunshot wound. Now, that person was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries, and that person did wind up dying. Now, it's unclear what exactly led up to that shooting in Durham, but we are staying with this story to try to get more information from police, including who that person may have been and what exactly did lead up to this shooting.
Today, one day after Wake County commissioners passed their budget, the school district will go over what was approved. A majority of your tax dollars is going toward education. The county's approved budget includes more than $702 million for Wake Public Schools. That's a $58 million increase in funding, but it still falls $5 million short of what the school system wanted from county leaders. Today, the school board will talk about how to spend that money. Wake County's total budget is more than $2 billion, a more than 10% increase over last year's budget. It also includes a decrease in the property tax rate. We asked what that means for taxpayers.
Does this mean homeowners are paying more in taxes?
Some people will pay more and some will pay less, actually, depending on what your property is valued at.
Commissioner Chair Shinika Thomas says in a fast-growing county like Wake, growth doesn't pay for itself. This means the budget adds more funding for ambulances and law enforcement to address an increase in calls. The budget takes effect July 1st.
Today, you can get a free gun lock in Durham. The giveaway event is part of the state's annual Safe Week of Action. SAFE stands for Secure All Firearms Effectively. From 9 a.m. to noon today, a free gun lock giveaway is happening at the Durham County Courthouse. Another gun lock giveaway is happening Friday in Fayetteville. We talked with Melanie Mottershead, a member of the Be Smart Gun Safety Group. The organization started a gun safety campaign in Wake County schools. She says normalizing those conversations about gun safety is important.
We're normalizing the conversation. Again, it's not a gun ownership issue. It's really just how do you keep your guns stored? And am I safe and are my kids safe around you in your homes?
Also tonight in Raleigh, you can watch a screening of the WRAL documentary, Unsafe North Carolina Kids Dying from Gun Violence. That's at 6 p.m. at Transfer Company Food Hall. The screening will be followed by a panel discussion featuring WRAL documentary reporter Kristen Severance and several local leaders.
Today, Durham County Commissioners will wrap up their 4th budget work session. Teachers and support staff for Durham Public Schools are pushing for better pay. Organizers from the Durham Association of Educators urge county commissioners to pass the school system's budget with a $27 million funding increase. Today's work session gets started at 1 p.m.
It's been more than a week since a Garner family was killed in a Memorial Day tragic accident. A group of Cub Scouts honored the life of Tyler, Susie, and their 8-year-old son, Miles Campbell. Last night, Miles' scout troop hosted a vigil for the family at Garner United Methodist Church. Those who were there prayed, placed flowers at a cross, and they wrote messages of support and encouragement. A psychotherapist shares the best way to help children cope with grief.
Parents need to validate their child's feelings and let them know that it's okay to feel sad or it's okay to feel angry, and just give your child an opportunity to express themselves.
Dr. Rizal says it is also important to pay attention to your children if they isolate themselves during grief. It's okay to start a conversation about what they're feeling.
Chapel Hill police are investigating a murder-suicide. Police responded to a shooting at a house on Homestead Road just before 2:30 yesterday afternoon. They found a man and a woman who were shot and killed. Anyone with information about the case is asked to call Chapel Hill police.
2 people are in custody after leading state troopers on a chase through Johnston County. This is video taken by the WRAL Breaking News Tracker as the driver and passenger of that white Audi wouldn't stop for officers. The chase was on in Wilson Mills. According to Highway Patrol, the vehicle was traveling about 145 miles an hour. Here's police radio traffic during that pursuit.
And where's going to be an Audi? I don't know what color. Gaston Sheriff's Office. We're coming into Smithfield heavy traffic. Let me know what he wants to do.
649 Raleigh, he almost hit me on 70 business.
State troopers used stop sticks to get that vehicle stopped. Both suspects, who had several felony charges between them, surrendered.
Breaking news, a man has been found shot to death at a local car wash. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live in Hope Mills in Cumberland County. And Kelsey, deputies responded around 1:30 this morning.
Renee, they did it, and that shooting happened at a car wash on Deaver Circle in Hope Mills. And right now, deputies are here at the sheriff's office working to piece together what happened because the scene is clear now. But let's take you to video now from overnight so you can get a look at the scene. Police received a shots fired call around 1:30 this morning. When they arrived at the car wash, they found a man shot to death. Now we're working to find out that man's name. We're also asking deputies if they have any information about that shooter. We'll stay on top of the details of this investigation and keep you updated. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cumberland County.
This morning, opening statements will begin in Hunter Biden's federal gun trial. A jury of 12 and 4 alternates were seated yesterday. President Biden's son is accused of illegally buying and possessing a gun while using drugs, which is a violation of federal law. Biden has pleaded not guilty to the charges, but he has been open about his struggles with drug and alcohol addiction. If Hunter Biden is convicted on all 3 counts, he could face up to 25 years in prison. This morning, a beam raising ceremony is happening for a new high school in Apex. Felton Grove High School is set to open next year. The event to celebrate this milestone in the project will happen at 10 this morning. After remarks from Superintendent Robert Taylor and school board members, the final beam of the building's frame will be lifted by a crane and put into place. Coming up, Dr. Anthony Fauci was on the hot seat on Capitol Hill answering questions about his response to the COVID pandemic. What made the doctor get emotional during his testimony? Michelle.
And the hottest topic coming out of the WNBA, hard fouls on WNBA star Caitlin Clark. We'll show you the moment she gets knocked to the ground in Sunday's game and what she's saying about it.
And we have a round of thunderstorms in our forecast later this afternoon, as well as Wednesday and Thursday when a cold front comes through. I'll show you how much rain we could see over the 3 days.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13 and just a tiny shower here in parts of our eastern counties. We'll zoom in here and you can see there in Nash County, just north of Rocky Mount, there's this shower. There's no lightning with this, but we're seeing some rain in Red Oak, and that's going to continue to drift southward across Rocky Mount. We had some showers there in Wilson County. Those are dissipating very quickly. Some of this rain is likely to drift on into Edgecombe County, but nothing that's going to be terribly significant. And certainly that's the only spot that we're seeing rain this morning. So 20% chance to start with. Later this afternoon, it bumps up to around a 40% chance. But again, we're looking at just isolated cells that pop up. We'll walk through that coming up on Futurecast. Pretty look at Sanford this morning. Pretty sunrise, a mix of sun and clouds. As the kids are getting off the bus this afternoon, it'll be hot at nearly 90.
Taking a look at traffic here this morning, you can see we've got a crash that's popped up here on the map. This is going to be just south of town here, Garner Road at Rush Street. You see the sensors not picking up any major delays there, but it is something you'll want to be looking out for if you're headed up to town that way or maybe across Rush Street to get to work today. Otherwise, looking good across our major roads in the region, including I-40 at South Saunders, where we're taking a live look right now. As always, those westbound lanes looking a little busy. We'll let you know as those delays and other crashes start to build in this morning.
Eric, thanks. Former Trump lawyer Michael Cohen's family's phone numbers and addresses were posted online. Cohen's wife and children's information were posted to a website early Monday. That site had been used to target other people involved in the former president's legal issues. That's according to Advanced Democracy, a nonprofit research group. This all comes after Trump was convicted of 34 felony counts last week, and Cohen testified against him.
One of the biggest stars of the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, has drawn plenty of attention, especially from fellow players who are determined to stop her. WRAL's Michelle McConaughey is here with a hard foul over the weekend that has some asking now if she is being targeted, Michelle.
Yeah, Jeff, it was a pretty hard hit from Chicago Sky guard Kennedy Carter. Carter leveled Clark with a shoulder block in the third quarter of the game Sunday, basically knocking her to the ground. This is it here. Sky head coach Teresa Carter called out Kennedy for the not appropriate foul on Clark. See it there again. She released a statement after the game saying that physical play, intensity, and a competitive spirit are the hallmarks of Chicago Sky basketball. But Kennedy got caught up in the heat of the moment. She and I have discussed what happened and that it was not appropriate, nor is it what we do or who we are. Clark tried to downplay Saturday's shoulder blow, saying that, she wasn't expecting it, but it is what it is. She knows it's a physical game. She's just trying to brush it off. Clark is not only being fouled, though, she's doing it a ton herself. She has 78 total whistles this season, for and against, which is the most in the league, Jeff.
All right. Well, she was all that coming out of college, so
yeah.
I can understand a little bit why she has that target on her.
Mm-hmm. Michelle, thanks. Dr. Anthony Fauci was on the hot seat on Capitol Hill as he faced questions over his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. House Republicans pressed Fauci on past COVID restrictions, including the rule that Americans should stay 6 feet apart. Fauci told the committee that 6-foot rule sort of just appeared. He then clarified he meant there were no clinical trials done. Fauci got emotional, talking about the threats he and his family still face.
It's very troublesome to me. It is much more troublesome because they've involved my wife and my 3 daughters.
Republicans also pressed him on COVID's origins. Fauci denied he downplayed the possibility of a leak from the Wuhan lab in China.
Spotify is increasing its prices in the U.S. for many of its subscription plans. The streaming company announced its premium plan is going up from $10.99 to $11.99 a month, with their other plans increasing by $2 or $3 a month. On the video streaming side, prices are also getting higher. And ahead this morning on Today, a breakdown of those streaming prices and how consumers could save some money depending on what they like to watch or listen to. Today starts right here on WRAL, 7 o'clock. We're at 6:17 right now. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with a look around town here just after sunrise. I think we have some clouds out there as well as humidity hanging in the air.
Oh, yeah, it feels like the middle of July out there right now. We do have some cloud cover that we're seeing here in Goldsboro, a mix of sun and clouds in Apex. As we look across Chapel Hill, it's completely clear. And we'll notice that as the sun continues to brighten things up. But Chapel Hill, courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant, nice quiet start in Fayetteville there at our newsroom. Right now, the only rain that we're seeing is north and east of Raleigh, and those little showers are fairly slow moving, but also dissipating pretty quickly. We've seen that shower move out of Franklin County from Rocky Mount north through Red Oak. We're seeing this shower. It's drifting down toward Rocky Mount, but it's also dissipating. So I really feel like for Rocky Mount, you're only going to see a few light showers. We had a few light showers here in Wilson County, but notice that that cell has almost completely dissipated. We're not seeing anything else out there on the radar right now, but later on today, we have a better chance of seeing some isolated showers or thunderstorms. We should see variably cloudy skies for today, and then mid to late afternoon, a couple of isolated cells pop up. Those could produce some brief heavy rain and some blustery winds, but it's unlikely that they would reach severe criteria. And once we hit sunset, we'll start to see those tapering off. Now, it's a much more interesting situation as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. We have a cold front that arrives as we get into Wednesday. It moves through during the day on Thursday. Lots of moisture available. You can feel it when you step outside. We'll have the best storm chances late Wednesday night, and into the day on Thursday. Here's a look at the big picture. That front is way out here, and ahead of it, we're seeing some severe storms across parts of Oklahoma, but we're not looking at a lot of widespread storms with this system as it's crossing the Rockies. Once it comes through here, Wednesday, we're going to start off dry, but mid to late afternoon, you can see the scattered storm cells developing. Futurecast shows this line of thunderstorms that comes through around midnight into the early morning hours, Wednesday night into Thursday morning, but the front itself doesn't arrive until Thursday afternoon, and with that, there might still be a few isolated showers or thunderstorms. So it may come in several waves. 40% chance of some isolated showers today, Wednesday and Thursday, a 40 to 50% chance. And then we dry out nicely for the weekend. How much rain total for all 3 days? Likely to be somewhere between 1/4 inch and 3/4 inch. It just depends on how many of these waves actually come over your area. It's going to be hot the next several days, but once that front comes through, our temperatures and our humidity will drop. I'll show you how much it drops for us next weekend. Coming up, Eric?
Yeah, Elizabeth, a lot of folks going to be looking forward to that. As we take a look at traffic here this morning, we're continuing to follow a crash here on the south side of town. This is going to be down here Garner Road near Rush. See it right there on the map. Sensors not picking up any major delays on either of those streets here this morning, but it is something you want to keep in mind if you're headed to town that way. I know a lot of people take that route. As we take a live look outside, this is I-40 at 540. You can see things getting busy out there in between Raleigh and Durham. A lot of folks getting on the road here. Still not seeing major delays at this point. We'll let you know as that changes.
Eric, thanks. Coming up, a congressman was delivering a speech about Donald Trump when his son stole the show. The hilarious distraction his son provided when the video went viral.
Also, a Cub Scout troop is remembering one of their own after he was tragically killed in a car crash. A touching tribute from the young kids as they honored their friend.
Here's a look at your winning lottery numbers. We'll be back with what's trending.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Singer and former actress Taylor Momsen got a surprise on stage when she was bitten by a bat.
Yeah, this is something. Time for a look at what's trending right now.
Take a look at this video she posted on her Instagram. Momsen was singing a song called Witches Burn when the bat lashed onto her leg. Momsen joked, "I must really be a witch." She later posted this to Instagram saying AC/DC has the best crew. Her band was opening for AC/DC, showing off their new anti bat signage. Of all the hazards you could think of being at a concert, bats?
No
really?
bats. Yeah, and the fans in the crowd are pointing to it like, hey, look, you got this. I mean, now it's rabies shots for 2 weeks for her. And didn't she played Cindy Lou Who? Didn't she, in that live-action Grinch? She can't be a witch and Cindy Lou Who. Too sweet.
Well, people remember from Gossip Girl.
What a scene, yeah. Not all take your children to work days get this much attention, but look at this. Representative John Rose giving a speech about former President Donald Trump's felony convictions, but look on the right side there. His son is sticking out his tongue, rolling his eyes. The representative posted to X that this is what I get for telling my son Guy to smile at the camera for his little brother.
I mean, first there were smiles, and then there were hand motions, and then the tongue sticking out. He's 6 years old. He just graduated from kindergarten, and he was with his dad for the week, and he's like, oh, this news conference, I'm bored.
Totally. Look at that. He's just like, oh, get me out of here, please. Dad, stop talking.
And a new meme is born.
Fun stuff. Yeah, new video shows just how fierce nature can be. Take a look at this video from Saguaro National Park. It's right near Tucson, Arizona. And this is a fight between a bobcat and a rattlesnake. The bobcat's swatting at that snake. Bobcats will eat just about anything, small animals, rabbits, birds, lizards, and other snakes. And their reflexes help them avoid the rattlesnake's bite. In the end, that bobcat won the fight and strolled off with a little meal of a snake in its mouth.
A man was shot and killed at a car wash in Cumberland County. Coming up, where that investigation stands this morning.
I'm tracking a few isolated showers for the morning commute. I'll show you if you'll be affected.
And we give you this live look right now. Pool Road near Knightdale, a car crashed into a power pole early this morning. The efforts to get those lights on for people who live nearby.